In this second video about the Globe 40, I will describe the briefings, our final works, the postponement of the start, and show you some impressions from the parties and some impressions from the pontoon. It was very impressive how the children were coming to the boats and asking the skippers questions. Here you see the Belgium ocean racing team coming back from the sea trials. Sea trials also are the reason why you see here some space on the pontoon. But there are also very, very good news. The German team Next Generation Boating Around the World managed to solve their motor problems, and here you see their boat. It's a Pogo S4, a Scowbow boat, and here you see the rudders can be lifted. For sure it is competitive. Sailors are Lennart Burke and Melvin Fink. But let's come to the preparation of Wilson from the Austrian sailor Lisa Berger. Here you see the co-skipper Jade climbing the mast. He checked the rig and cleaned the rail or the track of the mainsail, and also did some marks because we wanted to attach some patches to the mainsail to avoid shave from the spreaders. You see Lisa and Jade attaching the patches to the mainsail. The patches are made of polyester. Instead, the mainsail uses carbon fiber. Of course, the patches are attached to both sides of the sail, and the round piece is attached where the mainsail touches the end of the spreaders. The job was to install the reefing lines. Here you see Jade and Lisa controlling them. Last updates for the navigation software were installed, and here you see Lisa planning the race.
In certain directions it's going to be like an acceleration zone and much more wind than forecasted. So that's the most tricky part here, to be there at the right time when there's not too much wind and waves.
How many days for going to Cadix?
It says almost 6 days, 5 to 6 days. For now.
On Friday the 29th of August there was a safety briefing mandatory for all participants. Very exciting were the presentations of a French helicopter pilot. He told us how to behave in an accident, and very interesting how to behave if you are rescued by a boat, a plane or a helicopter. What I did not know is that the rope or the line which is let down by helicopter to rescue someone in the water is loaded with electricity. So you have to first let it fall into the water and then grab it. There's medical help for all participants from a French organization. Also, they gave a presentation. In the afternoon, a group of school children were coming to the boat and asking questions to Jade and Lisa. And it was very impressive. Also, the moderation of women from the Globe 40 organization who did a perfect job. Here the discussion is about the energy, and Lisa is showing the solar panels. The children were enthusiastic. And then they discussed how to use other sources of energy, and the moderator showed the children the hydrogenerator. Wilson has a Watt&C 600 watt hydrogenerator, which is very useful. It can be lowered into the water. You see here Lisa showing that, and from something like 5 to 6 knots it's starting to produce energy. Of course, the faster you go, the more energy will be produced. It's a bit reducing the speed, so the sailors don't like it too much, but it's really a good source of energy. I used the Watt&C hydrogenerator on my Atlantic crossing and was very happy. Then the children were asking what is the fear of them. Lisa answered that unfortunately orcas are attacking the boats in front of the coasts of Spain and Portugal. Girl in the front asked a very intelligent questions if they have spare rudders.
Ouais, si, ils ont. Do you have spare? Yes, two spare. Two. Ils en ont deux. Because of the En fait, là, c'est intéressant. Comme ils savent qu'il y a ça qui existe, bah, ils ont pris deux pièces en.
You heard it, Lisa said, we have two spare rudders. And then the moderator explained that most probably the orcas are only playing. And Lisa and Jade signed posters from the Globe 40 and gave them to the children. After the children, Lisa gave another interview for a really interesting documentation about the two female skippers in the Globe 40 race. The evening there was a wonderful cocktail reception in one of the Vendée Globe headquarters with a beautiful view over the port and the Bay of Lorient. There were some speeches, because we loved to discuss with other crews. Here you see our crew photo on the right-hand side. Jade, then Lisa, then the mother of Lisa, Uschi Berger, and myself. On this photo you see on the right-hand side Christoph, who's a friend of the family and is supporting the team. Of course, we were following the weather since some days, and it was very clear that in the next days the effects of the two hurricanes which were coming from the Caribbean Sea were producing a lot of wind and big seas in the Bay of Biscay, especially at the Cap Finisterre, which is located on the northwest coast of Spain. In anticipation of the decision of the jury, I already booked my room for another 5 days because I thought if I would do it later, it would be too late. Meteorologist explained exactly what I described before and explained also the decision of the jury to postpone the start. They say they will decide every day, but for everybody it was clear that before Thursday the probability of a start would be very low. After that they explained the starting line and of course also the finishing line. After the start briefing, a photographer made this wonderful photo of all participants and of every crew. As there were another 5 days before the start, we decided to make a combination of preparing the boat and doing some sightseeing in the wonderful Bretagne. Here you see the view, the wonderful La More Plage viewpoint to the entrance of the Bay of Lorient. We then drove to the beautiful old fisherman village Plumeur and were eating in the fantastic restaurant Le Moulin Vert. Then we drove to the beautiful village of Pont-Aven, where a lot of artists work, and even Paul Gauguin was painting. You see here the impressions from the river and the beautiful houses alongside the river. Also, the next day we used for sightseeing. Here you see a wonderful Citroën on the highway. Here I explained that we used our free day to go to the village of Rochefort-en-Terre, which is one of the most beautiful French villages. We all agreed that we should buy this wonderful chateau and live in the south wing. After a fantastic lunch in this restaurant, here you see only the starters, we returned back to La Base. Here you see the view from the other side of the bay. Now it's confirmed that the start will be on Thursday, and I hope I can show you wonderful pictures and videos from the start. If you liked the video, please leave a like, thumb up. If you want to see more videos from Globe 40 and sailing, please push the bell.